Hello, welcome along to today's solve of a Telegraph cryptic crossword. If you're new to cryptic crosswords and you're interested in learning how to solve them, then you're in the right place. And also, perhaps if you're a bit more of an accomplished crossword solver, looking to hone your skills, then I'm sure there's something for you in the video today as well. What we're going to do today is we're going to have a crack at Telegraph prize cryptic number 3341 from Sunday the 2nd of November. As it is a prize cryptic, I need to make sure I don't post this too early. I think you get about 10 days to submit this into the Telegraph. So I'll make sure I post this after the closing date so there's no cheats and no spoilers. And we'll go through them one by one and I'll try and explain the clues to you as we go along and perhaps give you some hints and tips on how to solve cryptic crosswords in general. Okay, with that being said, let's start with the first across clue, which is today is 9 across. Radical soul traditionalist has masked. Radical. So when we start solving cryptic crosswords, about 3/4 of cryptic crossword clues are set up such that there is a cryptic part, or a wordplay part, and a straight part, a definition part. And normally the definition part is either at the beginning or at the end, and the rest of the clue then makes up the wordplay which you use to solve the clue. So looking at this, does the clue mean radical? I don't think it means radical soul. That doesn't seem particularly obvious. Or does it mean masked? And the wordplay, soul traditionalist has masked, this looks like the wordplay bit. So maybe it's a word for soul with a traditionalist round the outside, sort of masking it, hiding it. So I think the word probably means radical. Yeah, actually, it does. Let me get my key cursor in the right place because the answer is ultra. So this is a hidden clue. And the answer is actually hidden in the clue itself. So if you take the U of soul, ULTRA is ultra. So radical is the definition. Somebody who's radical is ultra, an ultra. And the wordplay here is masked here is telling us that the previous words, soul traditionalist, is masking or hiding the answer. And I say the answer is ultra. Okay, let's go across. Telecross. Frenchman's certainly with Welsh girl in US city state. So Frenchman is Monsieur, often abbreviated to M. That's a standard abbreviation for Frenchman. Certainly sure could be Welsh girl, maybe a Welsh girl's name, something like Megan or something like that. Not seeing that one. Let's go on. 11 across. Stuff hit transmission. Okay, so applying our logic from the first clue here, it looks like either the word means stuff or it means transmission. And then the other two parts of the clue are the wordplay. So we're looking for a short word for stuff and a short word for hit to mean transmission, or a short word for hit and a short word for transmission to mean stuff. So transmission could be something like being aired on air. Hit could be like something, a hit like a pop hit, or it could be to punch somebody, box somebody, something box, gearbox. Yeah. So stuff is gear, general sort of colloquial terms for each other, synonyms for each other. Got some stuff, got some gear. Hit is box, and gearbox is your transmission. Okay. 12 across. Spoil line having dug crookedly. So crookedly is quite a strong anagram indicator. So if this is an anagram, we're looking for a word or words that sum up to 7 letters. Okay, so line and dug together are 7 letters. So is there a word here that means spoil? Yeah. It's not the first version of spoil that you might think of. It's not spoil as in to wreck or to mar something, but it is to spoil somebody as in giving them everything they want, indulging them. So this is an anagram of line dug, crookedly being the indicator, to mean spoil, which is indulge. Okay, 13 across. Kind community of brothers, say. Kind community of brothers, say. So this looks like perhaps a double definition clue. So this is one of those clue types that doesn't follow the convention. This is essentially a double definition. So we're looking for a word that means kind and a word that means community of brothers. So one word has two definitions. One is kind, one is community of brothers, like monks, like that kind of thing, a sort of church or a community in that sense. It also means kind, so sort or type. No, not seeing that. Let's go on. Raging storms, month ending in deluge. Check for that, question mark. So the question mark, when it appears, is sometimes indicative of a little bit of a play on words, perhaps a bit of a joke, or maybe that the solution is sort of stretching the definition or stretching the wordplay a little bit. So it's looking for something a little bit perhaps unusual here. Raging is significant because it's abbreviated. So clearly the letters RAGIN are important. Storms could be an anagram indicator. So raging storm. So anagramming the letters of raging, that's 5 letters and we need 9. So we need to find 4 more. Ending of deluge is E. So that's another one. So now we need 3 letters. So maybe we need a month. Maybe we need a 3-letter abbreviated month along with raging and E that somehow means check for that. So test or whatever. So this is quite tricky. This is indicative of a Sunday prize cryptic. The prize cryptics in the Telegraph are always more difficult than your weekly Monday to Friday cryptics, and usually the Sunday one is even harder than the Saturday one. So yeah, that looks like a pretty tricky clue. Let's go on and see if we can get this big one across the middle. Temporarily refitting home, be versatile. Temporarily refitting home, be versatile. So versatile is another anagram indicator word. Maybe temporarily, perhaps less so. So does this mean temporarily? So we're looking for 15 letters. How many letters have we got in refitting home B? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So refitting home B is the 15 letters that we're looking for. So I think this is a collection of words that mean temporarily, made up of those letters. And we've got something, the something, something, the something, something. We've got an F in here, so Fs are quite difficult to place in words generally. For the time being, yeah. Great. So yeah, anagram of refitting home B, meaning temporarily, for the time being. 19 across. Hint with proof flawed. Lower mark could it be? Again, we've got a question mark here to suggest there's some little quirk or play on words. Flawed is an anagram indicator. And hint with proof flawed. So hint and proof together flawed or mixed up. Lower mark could it be? Yeah, this is hoof print. So lower, the way it's written here is meant to make you think of something nearer to the ground perhaps, or further down lower. But actually, and this is why the question mark I think comes in here, it's a play on words in the sense that it means lower is an animal that lows, and an animal that lows like cattle, so lowing is another word for mooing. So a lower would be an animal that lows. So we're looking for the mark of an animal that moos effectively, and that is a hoof print. Okay, quite tricky. 21 across. Twerp, mind, oddly apathetic. Yeah, so this is tepid. So the straight part here, apathetic, is tepid. Oddly is telling us to take the odd letters of the words twerp, mind. And what alerted me to this, I think, is that twerp is a strange word to put here. It's not a common word that people would usually use, unless these letters or some combination of them were particularly important. So I'm seeing twerp and thinking this is an odd word, this must be important in the clue. And then oddly tells me, okay, let's have a look for the alternate letters, the odd letters. Now it could be the second, fourth, sixth, and so on, but in this case it would be W, R, M, so that's not right. If you take the literal odd letters, the first, third, fifth, you get T, E, P, I, D, which is tepid, and tepid can mean apathetic. Okay, 23 across. Custodians in offices at times of conflict, question mark. Again, another question mark, another little sort of play on wordsy answer, I think. And again, this would be typical. These are slightly trickier because the definition isn't purely spelt out, and this would be typical again of a weekend prize cryptic. Okay, wardens in offices, custodians. Did I say wardens? Why did I say wardens? Well, wardens looks like it might be the answer. Wardens, yeah. That was interesting. My subconscious there giving me the answer without even realising it. So custodians are wardens. So that's clear. And then offices at times of conflict might be war dens. So war dens, and this is the sort of question marky part, to say it's a little bit of a play on words. War dens being custodians, wardens. Great. 25 across. Bond takes drink after sharp blow. So again, using our little trick, does the word mean bond or does it mean sharp blow? So it could be a word for bond with a word for drink in it, like sup or sip. Tot is often used as well. Or the name of a drink like gin. Although we've got drink after sharp. Drink after sharp blow. Okay, so a sharp blow is a rap, and a type of drink is a port or port. So rap port gives rapport, and rapport is another word for a bond, sort of closeness and commonality. 27 across. Cute rival, unfortunately, bringing in a bomb. Okay, so again, unfortunately, here is an anagram indicator, and cute rival has 9 letters. So I think we're looking for an anagram of cute rival, bringing in a bomb. Cultivate? No, not quite. We have lots of L-A-T-E, L-I-T-E, R-I-T-E, R-A-T-E words that could be made out of this. So where does the C go then? Does it begin with C? Don't know. Not seeing that one, but I think we're on the right track. I think once we get a couple of checking letters here, we should better get this one quite quickly. So let's go on for now. 28 across. Powder and explosive originally, recalled in striking effect. Yeah, this is eclat. So the powder is talc. Talc. Explosive originally, the initial letter of explosive is E, and recalled is a reversal indicator, so you put talc E in reverse and you get eclat, which is striking effect. Not a particularly common word, but again, the sort of thing you would see on a Sunday cryptic. Okay, that's a good start. that's all the cross clues done. We've got quite a lot of those in place, so that's good, a good start. If you're enjoying the solve today, don't forget to give the video a bit of a like if you're enjoying it. And if you want to be notified when there's more videos from me, then please consider subscribing as well. But the likes really help. It certainly helps the algorithm to know where to point people to new channels and small channels like this. So it would be much appreciated if you could give the video a bit of a like. And with that said, let's crack on. Plug for hush money. Yeah, this is bung. So this is another double definition. A bung is a plug, and a bung is also hush money, bribe money. Give somebody a bung to do something for you. So double definition, plug, and hush money is a bung. 2 down. Stomach into which fed right thread. Stomach into which fed right thread. So does this mean stomach or thread? So I think it means thread. So we're looking for a word for a stomach into which we put the letter R. So R is a recognized abbreviation for right, L for left, R for right. Pretty common word, common abbreviations. So we need to put an R somewhere. So either here or here look likely. Yeah, this is strand. Okay, so to stomach something is to stand it. And then you feed into that R for right, and you get strand, and a strand is a thread. 3 down. Singing style requested here. Question mark. So another question mark. And we've got a few letters here. Something. 6 and 4. What's this? Chip. Shop. Singing style. Don't know. Let's go on to this one. We've got an X in the middle. This should help. Team in anger, rising up in essence. So a team has a number of synonyms, like a side or a group, but it's also 11. A cricket 11 or a footballing 11 or is a common phrase. And 11 in Roman numerals is XI. So it could be XI. So that's the team in anger rising. So we're looking for a word for anger, but going up to mean essence. Yeah, this is elixir. So anger is rile, R-I-L-E. Up with team with 11 in it gives in essence, and an essence, and sort of an extract is an elixir. Okay, fighting dog is seen in picture without lead. Okay, so is this fighting dog or boxers of fighters? Is seen in picture without lead. Is that is? There's an is there. Well, a boxer is a pugilist. That's the sort of technical word for a boxer. And a pug is a dog. So this, yeah, pugilism, I think, is the answer. So we have pug for dog. Is, literally the word is. A picture is a film without lead, so without the initial letter, the leading letter, which of course is F. So you're left with ILM with is in the middle, and pug gives pugilism, which is fighting and to do with fighting. Journalist from America applied. Yeah. This is USED. So we've got a couple of common abbreviations here. So journalists are often used in cryptic crossword clues to represent the letters ED, which is the abbreviation of editor. So ed appears quite frequently whenever you see references to journalism. Often ED is what they're looking for. America has a number of abbreviations. It can be A, it can be AM, and it can be US, and in this case it's US. So a US ED, an American journalist, applied, used. And just while we're on the subject of abbreviations, you can't abbreviate just any word you like to its initial letter or letters. The abbreviation has to appear in an official dictionary like Collins or Chambers or Oxford. And if you're interested, I've produced a little guide to cryptic crossword solving, which includes 9 pages of abbreviations that are commonly used in crosswords. And along with that is some explanation of the 12 different types of cryptic crossword clues. And I've got some worked examples and showed you how they form and how to look out for them. So if that sounds like a good thing that you might be interested in, the guide is free. It's just click the link in the description below. It should auto download for you. As I said, there's about 12 pages of guidelines to cryptic crossword clue types and about 9 pages of standard abbreviations that you might see in cryptics. And ED and US are both in there. So if that helps, click the link in the description. And with that being said, let's crack on. Bad smell, I observed consuming everything with old cheese. Okay, so I'm looking at this. Bad smell I looks like an anagram indicator of smell I. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 6 letters. Observed consuming everything. Everything is sometimes abbreviated to all. So that could be all, ALL or ALL, with old. So old is a word that's used to represent the letter O. So O is an abbreviation of old. And cheese. So I think it means a sort of cheese. Yeah, I think this is halloumi. So it's not quite an anagram. No. So a bad smell is a hum. If something hums, it smells badly. H-U-M. I, the letter I. So hum and I, observed or seen. Consuming all, consuming everything, all with O for old. So we've got hum I, consuming or containing, all O, gives halloumi, which is a type of cheese. Somewhat exposed, Belgrade, e.g. embarrassed. Okay, so we've got Belgrade, e.g. And again, this is jumping out at me as being a curious pair of words or combination of words, unless the letters specifically are important. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So Belgrade, e.g. is 10 letters, and we need 10 letters for the answer. So this is looking like another anagram, and I guess embarrassed could be an anagram indicator. Embarrassed is often used to represent the word red. So if you see embarrassed in clues, it normally means red is somewhere in the answer. But here I think it probably means something a bit different. Belgrade, e.g. Bare. Exposed is bare. B-A-R-E. What? Bare-legged? Bare-legged. Bare-legged. Yeah, I think that's right. So somewhat exposed, you're bare-legged. Okay, 13 down. Where picture may be taken that's quirky. Yeah, so with those checking letters, that really helps. So if something is quirky, you would say it is off the wall. And again, we've got this question mark here. So to say it's a slight play on words, picture may be taken off the wall. If you have a picture hanging, you would take it off the wall. And quirky is also another word for off the wall. Sweet talker silenced by this. Another crossword, another question mark. So another little play on words. Sweet talker silenced by this. Gobstopper? Yeah, I think that's gobstopper, I think. So, quite literally, a sweet, and also what a talker might be silenced by, a gobstopper. Okay. Structure fixed to car. Chamber unclosed. Extract gas, say. Well, looking at the answer, looking at the letters we've got, and thinking of structure fixed to a car, this looks like roof rack. So let's see if that's right. Well, obviously extracting gas is frack, so that's good. So we've got frack. So it leaves us with roo, and a chamber is a room, unclosed, so without the last letter. So missing the M of room gives roo, with frack gives roof rack. And that's a perfectly acceptable way to solve a crossword clue. Quite often, particularly when you start to get some checking letters, you can quickly spot the answer just from the makeup of the word that you've got, and then you use the wordplay to check and verify your answer. And that's a perfect acceptable way of solving crossword clues. Sometimes you do it that way. Other times you use the wordplay to generate a word which you then check has the right definition. So either way around is perfectly acceptable when you're trying to solve cryptics. Okay, slip ain't bad. It's the uncontrollable fool. So this looks like another anagram. Slip ain't. Ain't is an odd word for a Telegraph crossword unless the letters mean something. And with slip, we've got our 8 letters which we need. Bad is a clear anagram indicator, so we need to rearrange these letters of slip ain't. I'm looking for something that means uncontrollable fall, which looks like tailspin. Yeah. Oops. It is if you spell it right. Tailspin. Great. Okay, so anagram of slip ain't gives tailspin. Christmas favourite in Muslim country. Yep, this is a double definition. This is Turkey. Quite straightforward. Clearly, Turkey is a Christmas favourite, and country of Turkey is a Muslim country. Okay, sheepdog. Yeah, I think this is poodle. So it's kind of a double definition again. So if you are a sheep in the sense that you are a follower of somebody, so not the actual animal, the ovine animal, but if you are an actual follower of people quite fervently and doggedly, you would be said to be a sheep. You could also be said to be a poodle of that person, and obviously a poodle is a breed of dog. Okay, top undergraduate, ultimately up for test. Well, undergraduate ultimately is E, and we've got the E. So I think that's exam. An exam is a test, and top is max. So if you reach the top, you reach the max, MAX, with E of the last letter of undergraduate, gives exam, which is a test. Last one. I disapprove of that posh skirt. So that's 2-2. So to disapprove of something is to tut. Posh can be abbreviated to U meaning upper, and in that sense of posh being the upper echelons, the upper class. So again, that's in my abbreviations download that you can get in the description. And then a 2-2 then is obviously a skirt. Okay, that's good. We had a lot more success with the downs than the acrosses. Let's have a look. Is this the US? This must be Louisiana, surely. Let's how do we Louisiana? Okay, Frenchman's certainly with Welsh girl in US city state. Frenchman's certainly is we, I think. Yes, so Frenchman's certainly is we. So certainly in French, the word yes in French is we, O-U-I. A Welsh girl is Sian, S-I-A-N. In US city, so in LA, gives Louisiana, which is a state. Okay, that was pretty convoluted, but as we say, it is the Sunday cryptic. Kind community of brothers. Order. An order. You have an orders of monks. kind as in a type, a sort, order. I think that's right. Can't think of anything else that goes in there, so we'll leave that one in, I think. Raging storms. Well, this is looking like our raging. We've got RIG in the middle here. Month ending in deluge. We've got our E. Check for that. Rain gauge. Yeah, rain gauge. So as we thought, raging storm. So an anagram of raging at the beginning. The month is August, AUG, ending in deluge, E. And you check for rain and raging storms. You check for it with a rain gauge. And I think that's why the question mark is there. This was our anagram of, cute rival. Unfortunately, bringing in a bomb. So we've got L, C. So where does the V go? That's another tricky letter to place. It must be there, I think. What does that leave us with? U, T, R. Lucrative. Yep. Okay, I think that's the answer. Lucrative. So bringing in a bomb, and again another question mark here. So we're not looking at a bomb as in an explosive type bomb. We're looking for the colloquial term for a bomb, which means a lot of money. If you earn a bomb, you make a bomb, you make a lot of money. So something that brings in a lot of money is lucrative. Okay, last one, 3 down. Singing style requested here. What about barbershop? And again, this is another clue with a question mark on the end. Oh, get ready to post this, so let's do that. Let's say yes for that. And have a look at the puzzle. There we go. Right. Error message, just clear that again. 3 down. So the singing style is the straight part. Is a barbershop quartet, which you may have heard of. Oh, look, I've spelt it wrong. So I'm not going to win the prize. I spelt it wrong. Never mind. The answer is barbershop with an E. So a singing style is barbershop, as in a barbershop quartet, which is usually 4 people singing in an a cappella in harmonies together. And maybe it's requested in a barber's shop. So apart from the misspelling, the answer is barbershop. And there we go. I should learn to check my answers before I submit them, especially for a prize cryptic. Anyway, lesson learned for all of us there. Make sure you check your answers before you submit them for a prize. But there we are. That's all the clues gone through and explained. I hope you enjoyed that. That was a quite tough today. Lots of these play on word question mark clues, but I guess as I say, we expect that on a Sunday. But good fun all the same. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, don't forget to give the video a like. Please consider subscribing to the channel as well, so you're notified when there's more videos coming out. And if my little guide to cryptic crosswords and abbreviations is of any use, link in the description below. And with all that said, we'll finish there, and I'll see you again soon. Have a good day, whatever it is you're up to. Speak soon. Cheers. Bye.